Today we'll be talking about the aging of wine. Is it necessary, and does it make your wine much better over time? Not necessarily. There are, of course, incredible examples of wines from this country, South Africa, and from around the world that have proven that ageability is something that is very much possible, decades, and in some cases even a century and more. And still tasted absolutely wonderful, made for incredible tasting experiences. But often that was a combination of things: the taste of the wine, the history, the story behind it, the fact that there were so few wines left, potentially even the last bottle to taste. So obviously this makes for an incredible experience. But for the most part, winemaking techniques have changed, and wines are produced in a style that is more approachable from very early on. So winemakers are looking to bottle the expression and make it drinkable from the time it hits the shelf, and ideally to be consumed within 2 to 5 years, to really enjoy the aromatics that the wine delivers, to really enjoy the full flavor profile and also the youthfulness of the wine. This doesn't mean that the wine can't age beyond the 2 to 5 years, necessarily, speaking about red wines in this context. But obviously over time it will develop into tertiary flavors that you might not enjoy. Many collectors have actually made the mistake, and continue to make the mistake, where they put wines away, waiting for this perfect moment, the optimal moment, the perfect occasion to pull out a bottle of wine that has been resting away peacefully, aging, maturing for 10, 20 years. And when they open it, they come to realize that it's too late. So there's probably no bigger disgrace and no bigger moment of sorrow than when you find that. And so I always say, rather drink it earlier than too late, and at least you'll know for the next time round. But of course there are examples, plenty of examples of wines, as we said, who do actually do well with aging. Barolo from Piedmont would be a perfect example. Certain of the Grand Crus coming out of Bordeaux can easily be put away for several decades. Wines, the Grand Crus coming out of Burgundy, both red and white, wonderful. Certain expressions of Rieslings with high acidity levels can also only do well with age, and certainly put away the years beautifully. But for the most part, it is not necessarily advised. So rather drink your wines a little bit younger, not too young. So we set that window of 2 to 5 years, and enjoy them for what they are. And otherwise, buy a case and then taste them as the time goes by, and start learning, to see where these wines are going to do well. I took the example of our Saxenburg Shiraz Select here. This is the 2015 vintage. We're going to certainly drink this wine as soon as we can. It's going to be released in November, but at the same time, we can probably enjoy this in 20 years as well, without any doubt. Other expressions of our private collection, the Cabernet Sauvignon, the Shiraz, and the Pinotage, we've been releasing over the last few weeks, and we've tasted vintages right back to the maiden vintage of 91, and certain vintages were incredible and stood out and were very enjoyable. But obviously what happens over time is that the wine and its compounds, the compounds in the wine, the phenolics, the acids, the flavors, the aromas, start breaking down. And as a result, you start developing maturer flavors, tertiary flavors. In white, that would be, sort of overripe fruit. That could be, stewed fruit would be an expression. And on the reds, most of you will have heard of mushroom-like flavors, wet forest floor, tea leaf type aromas. Now, to some that can be very nice, and in some well-made wines that is a lovely expression. In others it's just kind of an indication that they've probably gone a little bit too far. But I hope this has brought you some insight, and do visit us on the website as well, and have a look at some of our older vintages. We can highly recommend them. Thank you so much.